name is Divya. I am from Thai, Kerala. Today we are about to start the session. As you all know, India is hosting a Y20 summit for the first time on the sidelines of G20 summit. Various meetings to be held on the Y20 themes, in 5 themes actually, for future of work, climate change, disaster risk reduction, peace building and reconciliation, sea and health, well-being and sports across India in a run-up to the final Y20 summit in August 2023. So today's our theme will be brainstorming session on Industry 4.0 innovation and 21st century skills, health, well-being and sports agenda for youth. So I would like to invite Mrs. Anisha Cherian, President of Thai Kerala, to deliver the welcome address and start the session. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon to you all. Let me first start with, the welcoming everybody. First, I'd like to welcome Mr. Washit, Associate Professor, Research and Information System for Developing Countries. I'd like to welcome Mr. C. Balagopal, Chairman, Federal Bank. Mr. Abhilash VT, Scientist, Fab Lab, Kerala Startup Mission. Mr. Krishna Kumar, CEO of Green Pepper. Mr. Rahul Maman, founder of HEAL. This is a very interesting topic. In fact, Divya just gave me a brief in regarding to the topic about 21st century skill sets. And what I found very interesting was yesterday I was chatting with my son. Now, he did his filmmaking program in Mumbai, and he is now, he did a course in theater. And when I chatted with him, he was really excited. He discovered ChatGPT. And why he was excited is he had about 40 different ideas which he wants to convert to scripts. And suddenly he realized, I don't need any script writer. I can actually do that through ChatGPT. And then he's got an app idea, and then he realized that a friend showed him how he can make this app through another, a coding app. And I was just thinking to myself, these technologies, what all industries is it going to disrupt? Now we are talking about AI. I don't understand much about AI. But as I was listening to him and his excitement, he's 22 years old, I suddenly realized, how the world around us is changing. And what do we do? How do we prepare ourselves? So one message I would like to give the youth here is, we are not in control of our environment. We can do nothing about what is happening around us. But one aspect that we are in control of is ourselves and the kind of skill sets that we develop to face what is coming. And some of this, skill set, or mindset that I would always talk about is the entrepreneurial mindset or skill set, which is a resilient problem-solving mindset that is tuned into opportunities, which includes self-confidence. It includes a resilient mindset where you can face challenges, your managerial skills, your individual productivity skills, your team productivity skills, where you know how to manage a team and drive them towards a particular objective. Or learning curiosity, where you're always triggered to keep on learning all the time. It could be just reading a book, or it could be just listening to podcasts, but you are all the time learning. Relationship skills, relationship with your colleagues, your company, your customer, relationship with yourself. All these aspects form a part of mindset and skill set. Innovation culture, that capacity to come up with a new method or process every single time, to do something new that you can better yourself. So selling skills. So these are various skill sets which you are in control of, which you can build for yourself, simply because you cannot control what is going around you. So this is a small message which I'd like to give all of you. I know many of you all are startup founders. And I'd also like to, just give you a quote by Buddha. Your purpose in life is to find your purpose and give your whole heart and soul to it. And another beautiful statement by Viktor Frankl in his book, A Man's Search for Meaning. He's also a Holocaust survivor. He said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is your power to choose your response. In that response lies our growth and our freedom. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves, and that is the only way forward. So with this, I'd like to welcome you all once again to this discussion on extremely, extremely important topics. So all the best and God bless.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Next, I would like to call upon Mr. Pankaj Vasisht, Associate Professor, Research and Information System for Developing Countries. It's in a knowledge partner for Ministry of Youth Affairs for Y20 Summit. Over to you.
Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to inform you that someone from the Ministry of Youth Affairs was supposed to join us, but due to some unavoidable work at ministry, they were not able to come. So since I am here from Delhi, so my job is just to give you a brief introduction about this brainstorming process which is taking place. We are trying to do it all over the country. So just to give you a background, you know that India right now is the president of G20. So G20 is basically, as you know, is a grouping of 20 most powerful countries of the world, and over the period, the G20 has grown quite substantially. It started with one track which was known as financial track, but over the period it has expanded. So right now we have something called Sherpa track, we have finance track. Apart from this, we also have around 10 engagement group. So we have a labor engagement group, which is basically driven by the Ministry of Labor. Then we have something called T20, where think tank of different 20 member countries, they come together and discuss about the issues which these countries are facing. And one of these important engagement group is the Youth20, which is led by the Ministry of Youth Affairs of host country. And there the idea is to engage with the youth to identify what are the challenges they are facing and what are the way forwards. So right now India is the president, and the Ministry of Youth Affairs is heading this Youth20 engagement group. So as a part of this process, Ministry of Youth Affairs has identified 5 themes. 2 themes you can see here on the backdrop. Apart from these, there are 3 more themes. So the idea is to engage with the people, especially the youth of India, to discuss about these themes, what are the issues they are facing, and what are the way out. So 2 parallel things are happening. One is ministry is engaging with the university students in a different track. But for this gathering, the idea was to engage with people who are not in university or colleges, with the youth who is out of university and college, but they are doing something more productive in sense of business or other engagements. So basically the idea is to engage with the young achievers. And through this, ministry is seeking to take input which will go into the formulation of communique, which will be presented to the G20 member countries at the end of this process, which will culminate to a youth summit in August. So that communique will draw a lot of inputs which you guys are going to discuss. And this process, ministry and government of India is looking forward to incorporate some of the agenda, some of the issues which youth of India think is important into the G20 process. And the idea is because for 4 years in a row, G20 presidency is going to be with the developing countries. So last year it was Indonesia, this year is India, and next 2 year it is going to be with South Africa and Brazil. So when you chair try to push in something, it should be continued. So Government of India is also in discussion with the forthcoming presidency, so that the ideas which come out from this kind of discussion get involved, get embedded into the process in the year to come, so that it leads to some sort of consensus making at global level. So this is the broad outline of this program. And we are doing this kind of brainstorming session in 50 different cities. So this is the 4th brainstorming session. We had one in Bhopal, we had one in Delhi. Yesterday we had one in Bengaluru. So this is the 4th one. Likewise, we will be going and having this kind of discussion in other cities. So I hope you guys will come up with some very good insights and policy suggestions which government can take up to lead us to a better future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pankaj. And now I would like to call upon Mr. C. Balgopal to deliver the keynote address. Let me just introduce you a little more. He is the chairman and chairman of the Federal Bank Limited. He divides his time between mentoring and investing in startup ventures, especially those engaged in healthcare, community development activities. He is a sought after speaker on various subjects ranging from business, healthcare, and public health, entrepreneurship, and contemporary affairs. And he is a author also, and written 2 books titled "On a Clear Day You Can See India," and his second book is "The View from Kollam: A Day in the Life of a Sub-Collector." It is published and it's available in Amazon. Welcome you, sir, and to deliver the keynote address.
Good afternoon. I think the smart thing for me to do is to try to keep this as short as possible. There's really no role for a keynote talk before a brainstorming workshop. But I just thought anyway, since I was asked to do it, for me it is always interesting. I get to meet people I have not met before, especially young people. And I probably give them some context in which this brainstorming session can happen. A young friend from the Government of India who was representing the youth Youth Affairs Department mentioned that I think about 50 such brainstorming sessions are going to be held across the country. And this is the 4th such brainstorming session. I want to just tell him that there'll be one difference between this brainstorming session and the 49 other brainstorming sessions, is that the 49 other brainstorming sessions are not taking place in Kerala. Now, why do I say that? As everybody knows, Kerala is not supposed to be a great place for business and industry, isn't it? We all know. Especially Kerala, it's all know. Attimari, Nokukuli, Hartal, militant trade unions, etc., etc. What those who say that, what they also forget is, I was just reading today some documents of the Government of India, different ministries, different studies from all over the world, which refer to, every time they say the richest states in India, the most developed states in India, Kerala is always there in that, and it's only the question of which are the other 2 which are mentioned. Sometimes Tamil Nadu is mentioned, sometimes Maharashtra is mentioned, but Kerala is always there. Now, what is very ironic to me is that the entrepreneurs of Kerala don't behave as though they are operating in the most developed state in India. The way they behave and the way they talk most of the time, not all, is they're very apologetic about it. And they wish that Kerala was like Bangalore, or Kerala was like Bombay, or Kerala was like Gurgaon, or anything like that. I think this requires a little bit more of a nuanced understanding of what Kerala has achieved. This is not the time and place for me to say that. Just let me say, for example, everybody knows about the HDI part. So, before your eyes roll up and say, oh no, not HDI again, let me just take another measure, which is called the Public Affairs Index. This is it's an index which was initiated in 2016 by Niti Aayog, at the initiative of the Niti Aayog, and this ranking is carried out by the Public Affairs Center, a non-partisan think tank in Bangalore. Okay? Ever since this ranking started till today, Kerala has been ranking number 1. And what is the Public Affairs Index? The 17 Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, which was all drawn up by Jeffrey Sachs and co. The performance across all 17 Sustainable Development Goals is what gives you the ranking. So it's not just infant mortality, it's not just literacy, it is jobs creation, it's per capita income, it is health levels. In other words, it's an overall measure, and Kerala has been ranking number 1. Have you seen it in any of our media here? There's something wrong about the way we look on it. We are so self-critical that it's a disability. It's not a strong point to be so self-critical. On the day the 2020 Public Affairs Index ranking came out, in the Times of India and the All India English media, it was not front page news, but it was prominently given in the business page. Kerala number 1 again in the Public Affairs Index. I took 2 or 3 of our prominent Malayalam dailies and searched. Of course, I didn't look in the front page because I know it won't be there. I looked at every page, and with great difficulty I found it hidden somewhere on the 4th or 5th page in the bottom in a small 1-column spread. And what was the title? Keralam Veendum Onnamadu. So I thought, endile egg and spoon race lano, 100 meters sprint lano, marathon lano. In what did we become Veendum Onnamadu? That was not explained in the title. Then in one sentence it was mentioned, Niti Aayog in the Public Affairs Index, ranking states according to achievement of sustainable development goals, Kerala is again number 1 for the 5th time. Now the point is, no, nobody cares. Nobody bothers. And we all act as if we are operating in Bihar or Jharkhand or something. Nothing wrong with those states. But so I just want to tell our friend that of all the brainstorming sessions, here is the brainstorming session happening in the most economically developed state in this country. Not because of Kerala exceptionalism, I'm not saying this. It's the facts. As stated by the Public Affairs Index, as stated by hard-nosed facts prepared by economists from across the world. Okay. Now it is time our entrepreneurs and our people also started behaving like that they are operating in a kind of setup and not wait for the first opportunity to somehow move to some third-rate accommodation in some suburb of Bangalore. When you have a place, an ecosystem like this, which today has been again acknowledged by Niti Aayog as the best startup ecosystem in the country, we are still running away from here. So my keynote address, the burden, and I will end here, is just to say, I think the day Kerala entrepreneurs realize that they are operating in an amazing state, in a state where the human resources are unmatched across this country, that they have advantages which it will take the next state a generation to achieve, not 5 years, a generation to achieve. That's when you will find the entrepreneurs here will realize what is their real strength. We are like the elephant which doesn't know its strength. So I wish you all the best, and I wish you a wonderful and very productive brainstorming session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And now I would like to invite Mr. Abhilash to deliver a special address. He is a scientist of Fab Lab of Kerala Startup Mission. Over to you.
Thank you. So, good evening, all. As as we are all gathered here to discuss about Industry 4.0 and the future of jobs, I would like to talk about, Fab Lab Kerala, which is a rapid prototyping facility of Kerala Startup Mission, and how it acts as an enabler as well as an implementer of Industry 4.0 in the state. So to follow up with what Balagopal sir said, he was talking about Kerala's performance in the Public Affairs Index as well as the startup ecosystem in rankings. Fab Lab Kerala has the distinction of being the first super Fab Lab to exist outside USA. So essentially, we are a rapid prototyping facility. So how does we come into the picture in a discussion of Industry 4.0? So I don't have to tell you about Industry 4.0 or how it works. Basically, basically it all boils down to data-driven manufacturing. So what happens when you have the data but not the capability or the equipments or the know-how to work on that data, then that data is not data, it's just some random facts, it's meaningless. So what Fab Lab is trying to do is, we are trying to enable the process of Industry 4.0. We act as an enabling agency in implementing the concepts of Industry 4.0 by creating a facility over here in Kochi, wherein people can work on various technologies and wherein people can work and tinker with their ideas and go out with their prototype. So we focus on additive manufacturing, digital fabrication, and other various technology which are required for Industry 4.0. And the other dimension in which we work is in evangelizing evangelizing fab culture or maker culture in the community, because we talk about Industry 4.0, but for that to happen, we need a proper skilled workforce or skilled personnel to act on it. We talk about distributed manufacturing, but if distributed manufacturing is to happen, we need people who are aware of this technology. So in that aspect, Fab Lab Kerala annually conducts a program called Fab Academy, in which we train selected trainees from across various streams of technology, across various streams of study, and they train them on the different aspects of digital fabrication. And after 6 months, these people will have an overall holistic understanding of what Fab Lab is, what digital fabrication is, and these people can act as enablers of Industry 4.0. And the other aspect or the other dimension in which Fab Lab aids Industry 4.0 is in the machine building projects. Fab Lab Kerala, being an MIT lab, has this concept of sustainable manufacturing. So what we do here is, we are not into production of run-of-the-mill machines or run-of-the-mill products. What we are trying to do is, we are trying to make custom solutions for specific problems, and we make it a point to ensure that these solutions are sustainable. So these are the manner in which we work towards enabling Industry 4.0 as well as being a sustainable manufacturer in today's world. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhilash. The first brainstorming session, Industry 4.0 Innovation and 21st Century Skills. I would like to invite Mr. Krishna Kumar, CEO, Green Pepper.
Hi. So, good afternoon to everyone. When was the last time you participated in a brainstorming session where you feel at the end of the session there is going to be serious note-taking, okay? And that is going to be submitted to policy level makers, right? And can possibly be part of serious policy coming up, say like in very short time, not like in very long term, but in very short time. So this is first time for me. I'm sure this is first time for many of you. So this is I find this as a great, very, very interesting opportunity to participate in a discussion which we sometimes desire to be part of. Like, right, so for example, when you watch news, when you read or, become part of these kind of conversations, the first thing which comes to mind is, where are these conversations moving to, right? When we have friendly conversation over a beer about I'm sure that Amar would agree with me on various civilian issues which we discuss, right? As a founder, you would probably have some idea about, hey, how could skilling be, right? If I am the skills minister, which this is what I would be doing, right? So these are very interesting thoughts which come to our mind but never got fruitful, right? Because we never got an opportunity or a platform like this which is happening in the next 40 minutes. So welcome all to this brainstorming session. For me, brainstorming is also something called brain writing. The reason which we're going to do some bit of writing also as part of this session, because sometimes some people might have better ideas when they write, I'm sure, because I saw some of your Google forms where you have written really well, some paragraphs of what this idea is about. So we'll do brainstorming, brain writing, and whatever we can do with the brain to come out with some very, very interesting insights, observations, or sometimes even desires. How could it be, right? So feel free to share desires also, because most of the time desire might look very illusionary, desire might look very, not practical. But the beauty of brainstorming is all about, we don't discuss practicality at this point in time, but what we discuss is, if you have a supporting evidence or supporting experiences, right, that is enough. So many people say, bring data, don't share opinions. No, I don't believe in it, because opinions are shaped by intuitive experiences. Opinions are shaped by your travel, the way you talk to experts. Sometimes you may not have the idea to convert it into data and show it like how McKinsey does it. So we are not McKinseys, right? So we are all individuals with observations, opinions, sometimes with not so convincing data. So the idea of this 40 minutes is to get the best out of your ideas. My topic is going to be like Industry 4.0, innovation and 21st century skills. Before that, I'll just give you a context on what Industry 4.0 is all about. So for which we should talk about what is Industry 3.0, right? We never know. What is Industry 2.0, nobody knows. So let's get straight into Industry 4.0, which means like if you really look at the last 200 years, we have seen, large factories moving to smart manufacturing, and now we are seeing all devices getting connected to machineries and things produced. It's called smart manufacturing, which is more of manufacturing. So how many of you are from the hard side of the industry? So we're going to talk about hardware, then the services side, and also about the software side. So how many of you are familiar or working on hard side of things? There are two people who have come. So I'm sure that you are the only two super contributing members to this group discussion, because we need your inputs, okay? On innovation, I'm sure that most of you are doing innovative ventures. You have, I'm sure that I can see many of founders and entrepreneurs and people who have been in the entrepreneurial ecosystem very, very actively becoming part of innovative ventures. So there is a lot to talk about innovation today. And most importantly, the 21st century skills, which we all worry about, right? So we have this worry, this worry of what will happen after this, right? So this constant worry of leadership, thinking about what will happen to my organization, what will happen to my next generation of people. This worry has always been there. It's a very valid worry. So we're going to worry a little bit more on this in the next 40 minutes to see how to create ideas, how to convert those ideas into real action, and how, as an institution, the government can support. How should government see this seriously, right? As a policymaker, as an execution team, what are the things which we can do, right? So this is what exactly we're going to be discussing. So there is a format which I want to tell you, so that you can also be a little prepared for this. One, so we have two options. One is to take up the ideas which you already mentioned, the Google form. Do you want that, or is there any other format which we can take? So the other suggestion is I can ask questions and then we can take it from there. What do you think? What do you think we can do? Mittu, what do you think? Both is fine, or do you want to pick up the ideas from the Google form which you already shared? Right? Super, super. So, if at all you feel that you want to get some time for response, what I would suggest you is to write down some bullet points in your notepad so that it makes better sense for you before you share the ideas. Because some of you are okay with sharing the ideas spontaneously, some of you are not, right? Some of you want to process the idea before you share it. So both is fine. So there are different ways people look at sharing ideas. Some of them think while they talk, right? But some of them think and they process, they write, and then they talk. So there are different kinds of people in the discussion. So we appreciate all those perspectives. We take your time. But let's start with, if somebody wants to start a trigger point, I would allow you to kind of talk to also. So would you like to start with the first point, which is the Industry 4.0? Make sure that it is kind of less than 1 minute so that people get an inspiration to do more, right?
Thank you. Shall I come over there? I can sit over here, right? Yes, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm happy to see all the founders over here, and I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs, which we wish to be mentored with a lot of startups. So on the first side, when I have a huge respect for everyone, and I have a huge respect for every founders and everything. But yes, I have my other views and dissatisfactions on what earlier sessions have said, because I don't really believe that Kerala is still the number one. Because even you can search in the internet, if you're that Niti Ayogi, it's ranking 8. It's not 1. It's ranking 8, because there has been a lot of lacking happening. But what I can say is that the government is really trying, pushing to make it a good environment and business environment. Because Kerala Startup Mission is one of the best, which we can see in the whole country. A lot of incubation spaces are there, but Kerala Startup Mission has always made its position highlighted in the country. That's what the government has pushed. But still there are a lot of lacking, which led us to 8. Because this is because which I have traveled a lot of places, and I've seen, even when we compare to Mumbai, or when we compare to Delhi, or compare to Bangalore, it's not that much of efficiency. So we have to solve that problem over here. So when it comes to the problem, the gentleman earlier said we had a lot of issues with the labor rules and everything. Even my factory right now is in Gujarat, my production factory, because that is much more better for me. So that there is a point. And when it comes to the workforce, the other states are much better when it comes to the workforce in the C section, not in the A section. A and B section we can get in from Kerala. But in C section, there is an issue which we are facing in Kerala, which we need to resolve. The founders and everyone collectively need to integrate and need to resolve. That is my perspective over the thing. And Industry 4.0, we have tech, we have brilliant techs, we have brilliant ideas. Gen Robotics is one of the brilliant company over here. Then there are other robotics company which we have. One of Asimo, I have seen one of the brainstorming thing. So there are brilliant companies and brilliant service providers, brilliant software providers. We need to address them. But these are the issues these people are facing, and they are getting into other state. You can see no companies are staying in Kerala alone. They are already integrating their business in some other state to get the businesses out. That's the one thing. Second point, most important point, is that